Fox News Alert, watching the cameras along the East River here in Manhattan. We're about 30 minutes away from President Trump's second address before the United Nations. If you remember the one from a year ago, it was something else with headlines galore. North Korea now, rising tensions on Iran, global trade, his America First view of foreign policy, all topping the agenda. So we'll see the president inside the UN in a matter of minutes. And when the speech begins, you're going to see it live right here inside of America's news. Sergei Lavrov from Russia, that was passing right to the left just there. So we're watching the doors, the comings and the goings. This will be the scene you'll see from this day. Tomorrow when the president heads up the UN Security Council, that'll be something else too. That's at 10:30 Eastern time on Wednesday, and we will have live coverage of that event as well. But for now, we're on hold, on standby for the president's arrival with the First Lady at the United Nations.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh telling Fox News he's not going anywhere, despite a growing number of Democrats calling for him to withdraw his name from consideration. In a Fox News exclusive interview, Kavanaugh says he has always treated women with dignity.
I want a fair process where I can defend my integrity, and I know I'm telling the truth. I know my lifelong record. And I'm not going to let false accusations drive me out of this process. I have faith in God, and I have faith in the fairness of the American people. America is about fairness and hearing from both sides.
Joining us now is Congresswoman Cheri Bustos, co-chair of the Democratic Policy and Communications Committee. She joins us now live in studio. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Sandra.
An Illinois girl, and so am I, so great to catch up with you on that. But a lot is at stake here, and you just heard him very clearly laying out with that interview with Martha last night. He's asking for a fair process. Are Democrats willing to give him one?
I think the American public wants a fair process. And, you know, you're a journalist. I'm a former journalist. The guiding star on this should be getting to the truth. How do we best get to the truth? I happen to think that that involves the FBI investigating this and having people who are trained investigators. That's what they do for a living, getting to the bottom of this.
So you want the further background checks than the 6 that were already conducted on Kavanaugh? Well,
there hasn't been an FBI investigation on this allegation that came up. Right now we're dealing with a he said, she said. You've got many people who are saying to believe the survivor. You have many people on the other side saying this is a credible judge. I don't know how you get to the truth without having a thorough investigation on this. I understand that it's 30-some years old. There were people who the professor says were at this party. I don't think that there's any problem, in my opinion, to do a thorough investigation and get to the bottom of this.
What about the presumption of guilt, though, from many in your party? Do you stand with those that not only are presuming him guilty, but saying he should step away from the process?
I think that, again, the truth should be the guiding light. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you believe Brett Kavanaugh or whether you believe Professor Blasey Ford, how we're going to get to the truth is to have those who are trained investigators getting to the truth.
Well, certainly there's going to be an open public hearing that's going to be take place on Thursday. We will hear from both sides. But let me tell you how the Hill put all of this, and they wrote this piece, Kavanaugh's fate rests with Senator Collins. And of course, she's the moderate Democrat who's going to really count when it comes to the confirmation process here. They write, quote, if Collins were to vote to confirm Kavanaugh, her reputation as an independent voice would likely suffer a blow, as that decision would be met with a barrage of criticism from Democrats and advocates of the Me Too movement. Do you agree with that?
Well, what I hope, whether it's Senator Collins or Senator Grassley or any of the senators sitting around the table, I hope that they just want to ask.
Sorry, I think I just said moderate Democrat. I mean, a moderate Republican.
You did.
Talking to a Democrat.
But I hope that her goal, and again, all the other senators who are on the judiciary, that they ask questions where Brett Kavanaugh can answer them with the time to answer them without being cut off, without being overly politicized. And the same thing with Professor Blasey Ford. I think what anybody's calling for is how do we get to the truth? It is very, very difficult when you're talking about something that was alleged to have happened 30-some years ago, where you've had alcohol involved. I think some of the questions around why did a 15-year-old not go to authorities? Why did she not go to her parents if this happened? You're a woman, I'm a woman. I don't know too many women who have had something like a traumatic sexual experience happen to them and they're 15 years old who would have gone to authorities. There was alcohol involved there.
Well, all these details are likely to be asked about when Thursday comes up,
Yeah.
and we'll see how the response is from both sides on all this, and they do deserve a fair process to play out here. You're a unique voice in this, though, and I guess I slipped by saying moderate Democrat when talking about Susan Collins because she is a Republican, but you are a moderate Democrat. Would you call yourself one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the heartland where Donald Trump won my congressional district, but I won by 20 points. So what you're talking about is you had 1 in 5 voters go to the polls on November of 2016 who voted for Donald Trump and voted for me. And I think the reason for that is people have felt in the past that Democrats haven't shown up in small towns.
Well, Politico did a big piece back in, I believe it was May of 2017, and they called you a rising star in your party. They titled the piece, "The Secret Weapon Democrats Don't Know How to Use," and that was you. And it's got pictures of you in manufacturing plants with welders, you're playing baseball, you're in supermarkets talking to people. So what do you think is the secret for your party, and you continue to win in Trump country?
I don't think it's much of a secret. I think you show up, you use your 2 ears and your one mouth.
How do midterms look?
Well, from the perspective of a Democrat, I think they look pretty good because we have moderate Democrats running all over these moderate districts. Again, if you come from a district like mine, if you are too far left, or you are too far right, people don't want that. They want somebody who's going to go to Washington, work across the aisle, no matter what party you come from, get something done. I think the expectation is you work hard, you get results, and you fight for people when you have a fight on your hands.
Fascinating stuff. It's going to be quite a week to watch.
It will be.
But thank you, and it's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
nice
thank
to have
you, Sandra.
Here. All right.
Appreciate it.
Bill?
At about